Discord captured my coconut can sound, so. That's right. We have our good friends, Pikapals and SomeGirl, SomeG. Pikapals has that classy win rate of 67% across all mystery tournaments. First joined in MT10 and finished 25th. Got a best placement of second during MT17. My first interaction with Pikapals was my second race on SRL. Actually my first race on SRL, I think. Me and another dude were talking about setting it up, learning how everything works in order to practice for mystery tournament. I played Dexterity, I think. And then, without saying a word, this Pikapals guy comes in and shreds me. Absolutely demolishes my time. I have feared the man ever since. We have SomeGirl with a win rate of 63% across all mystery tournaments. First joined in MT9 and finished 65th. Got a best placement of 9th during MT14. If you did not know, SomeG is the MT protagonist. That's right, she is the sports story, coming in at 65th during her first MT and has been consistently climbing the ranks ever since. If you ever wanted the story, the sports, everything, it would, that's SomeGirl right there. She's going to eventually take the top, but she's got to do the long struggle against anime protagonists ever since.
Now, I don't know who either of these profile pictures. Pikapals, that looks like a Pokemon.
Pikapals is, in fact, a Pokemon.
Is it well, after Gen 3, my Pokemon knowledge gets pretty spotty. Basically limited to what you can find in Snap.
It's one of the Pikachu clubs.
Oh.
It's one of the Pika Buddies. It's not a...
Oh, is it Pachirisu? I know that was like big in the
It is a Pachirisu!
And then and SomeG's is it almost looks like it's from Darkened Sky. Is that what it's from?
SomeGirls is the second member of Future Fabulous. That is Lilithset from Final Fantasy XI.
Got it. Do you know about Darkened Sky, the Skittles game?
Can't say that I have.
It's a game on the PC and GameCube and PS2 where you play as a protagonist, but the game is like a stealth advertisement for Skittles. It's like a full adventure, kind of like Oblivion style game, but then all of a sudden it's about Skittles, and it's a great game.
Oh dear. We still have a minute on ads, so only the people with their subscriptions or who tuned in for a pre-roll and then got, kicked in and everything. There's a lot. We're getting there. We're getting there. I hope I didn't steal all your fun by reading off the cards there, Internet Dirigible.
No. I've got to set up the race. We've got a game.
What? A game? Wait. We're here for a race? I thought I was just...
We are.
Wait, we're live on Mystery Funhouse? And here I thought that, I was just coming in to mess with Internet Dirigible. Who knew that we were here for a race? But that's correct. You did, folks. You out there, you viewers, and of course me, because, that would be silly if I didn't know I was coming into a race. Really unprofessional of me. And we all know I'm not exactly the most professional, but you think I'd be slightly better than that.
This is a pretty good one. I don't know if you've seen it, but it has been played before.
Let me jump into the race chat and see what hints I can draw.
Well, it's hard. You can't do .log anymore.
This sounds familiar, but also doesn't sound familiar, so who knows?
This is a fun game. Without spoiling things too much, this is a game with an odd control scheme. That's kind of the point of this game, is getting used to the strange controls. How does that make you feel?
Hey, I cleared everything in Surgeon Simulator once upon a time before they added 500 things, so I'm very good at wonky controlling nonsense.
I remember you and I playing Stilt Fella for like 4 hours one time. That was a lot of fun.
That was a good time.
Um,
That was a good time.
and I went and finished that game afterwards. Yeah, I love Stilt Fella. But they're not going to have the sort of casual race time that normally you would have.
Well, as we get set up, as we're approaching that, let me see what we've got going on here. That's right, Pikapals is seated, apparently. He has not had any matches yet. And SomeGirl has won against Dragus in the front one, 1-0. So right now, one of them has a significantly better winning time, or significantly better win rate than the other one. One of them sitting at 100%, the other one sitting at 0%.
Yeah, Pikapals came in second last year. So, pretty big deal.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be a match to watch. Gripping the end of your...
I could see either of them coming away with this one. I think this is going to be a difficult race for both players. It's not particularly long either.
The predictions are up. I absolutely dove into the predictions, ready to predict, and then I remembered the matchup, and I was like, I can't lose my points. I would...
This is going to be a hard choice. Yeah, it would be a hard choice for me if I had to just earnestly predict this. I honestly don't know. I think that it's going to be pretty close. These two are pretty evenly matched, even though we haven't quite seen the stats from SomeGirl that Pikapals has. It's gonna, like, as far as placement, like, SomeGirl, there have been times where she could have gone to top 8. It's just, you know, the bracket is generated and you never know who you're gonna get.
It's true.
And I think we could take a look at the game here.
That's right, we have Cleaning the System! I have no idea. Talk to me about this game.
I will. Let me get Rainwave off, and let's see if these guys have clean audio.
Now, this looks like a pogo simulator.
It is. So basically, the only thing you control is the direction of your stick. You can rotate your stick, and that's it. You always bounce on the two ends, and it's about not bouncing in a bad way, basically. You have very little control in this game.
There was
but
one
you have more control than
it
seems, really. I mean, it's just sort of like... It's hard to say. You're going to be bouncing out of control a lot, but it's not nearly as bad as that, what is that, pogo sticker? Is that what that's called? It's not nearly as bad as that.
Yeah, pogo sticker.
This game is, I would say it's actually fairly controllable. It takes a little bit to get used to it, but when you're playing this, it's not, like, ragey. It's more just weird.
Well, we have the run. It is begun.
Oh, Sumgi's using mouse controls. Interesting. I prefer keyboard controls for this.
Oh, I remember this game now. Very suddenly, all of the memories coming back to me. Have I played this? You betcha I have. Some of these levels get wild.
Yeah, so something to, keep your mind on is that if you land sideways, you won't bounce. You're not just bouncy, it's your ends that are bouncy. So you can often land sideways on things on purpose.
You can also pick up some absolutely stellar momentum by playing with, or by hitting yourself at a slight angle and just kind of sort of bouncing yourself forward, skipping across the ground.
True. Yeah, I think this was maybe in top 8. This is a different iteration of the demo than we've seen before because the game is actually a paid, like, fully released game. This was originally for a game jam. But it's really similar to what we had before.
SomeGirl having a heap of trouble on this slope. Meanwhile, Pikapals has made it through and is progressing on with the level. One thing that's really lovely about these games is the levels have their little descriptions. This level is called Snake, and when we beat it, we're going to see that the level is, in fact, a giant snake.
Yeah, you know, everybody's different. I would have a really hard time with the mouse controls, for sure. I think that keyboard just lets you be a little bit more accurate, just kind of tapping A and D to rotate. But if she gets used to the mouse, she could go flying like that.
The speed of it could be very beneficial. I'm actually kind of curious if analog controls works in this game, and whether or not you can get some good movement with the analog stick or not. That's probably how I would do it, because I suck at keyboard and mouse.
I don't think it supports controller, but I could be wrong. Like I said, it's been updated since I think the last time I played it. I didn't test it this time around.
Yeah, I definitely don't remember mouse controls like this. Both of them having trouble getting over this tiny little gap. Oh, but SomeGirl is the first to clear it, taking the new lead. Don't fall back out. Don't fall back out.
The big thing, at least for me in this game, is you really want to... You know, like you play Mario Kart, one of those like Wii or later Mario Karts where you actually move the wheel and you play it with like a 5-year-old and they turn it like way too far.
Oh yeah.
That's what ends up happening in this game. You need to make more subtle movements than it seems.
When you play racing games, are you a leaner?
No. Once I got I had to go to like some like appointment or something with my mom when I was young, and I had WarioWare Twisted, and the lady who was there thought I was like really into my game, but really it's just you can't play that game without twisting the Game Boy all around. And so
yeah,
it was a little embarrassing. I almost considered not even bringing it, but I was like, decided not to care.
Don't let old people that don't know the true passion and power of video games stop you from enjoying
It's
yourself.
true.
Oh, SomeGirl getting bounced backwards.
Yeah, they're both pretty close to the end of this first level, but the levels are going to get a lot more challenging than this.
SomeGirl doing infinity wall jumps, and we have the snake. Look at that snake, and it even sticks out its tongue.
Yeah, see, I don't like the mouse because it's relative, because the camera moves. So the direction that you're pointing it to constantly changes.
Oh, almost there, SomeGirl. Aww. This is a really tight finish on this stage. Pikapals making slow but steady progress here on the next stage. How do you feel about soft piano being your soundtrack for this game?
Yeah, I'm going to say that it's purchased. I mean, maybe this is part of the vision, but it doesn't feel like it to me. Oh!
That's what right there was what you were mentioning, that relative to it. We saw that pogo stick flip around a few times.
Yeah.
Oh, SomeGirl just flopping across, gets through, moving on to the next stage here with Pikapals. But Pikapals has already managed to make it through quite a bit of the stage, but you've seen how quickly you can actually traverse these obstacles if you are able to move correctly. So we'll definitely be seeing... I predict a lot of back and forth in this race. I don't predict one player taking the lead and holding that lead for too long.
Yeah, I think so too. The big thing is, if you run into a wall, turn sideways so you just kind of fall against it instead of bouncing off of it and undoing all your progress. And yeah, don't go too fast. Slow and steady. This is very much a slow and steady game.
Especially since when you connect with the ceiling or the side, you're just whoop, whoop, all over the place. Here we've got Pikapals trying to make the triple jump. SomeGirl slowly flopping and making an idea of how to progress forward with that area. Very controlled. Very nicely done. And has found the magic angle that lets you just go very fast.
Yeah, that's actually really important to find. That is almost a mechanic later on.
She's done a good job of identifying how to go fast and how to slow it down. So I'm thinking that SomeGirl is starting to gain significantly more control over her movements than Pikapals is at this moment, but Pikapals is still in the lead here. So
it's interesting because the mouse lets you make faster decisions, but when you're in a tight space, they can get undone by the camera movement. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Starting to come around on it, but it's risky. It's risky to do the mouse. You have to really lead the stick, or else you're going to end up like you noticed earlier, the stick will pass up the mouse on the screen, and then it'll just flip around all crazy, and you won't be aiming where you wanted to anymore.
yeah, SomeGirl there holding the mouse way too close to the stick, that's for sure. The stick just started rotating around, causing problems. Meanwhile, Pikapals has gone backwards.
Yeah, so here, sort of the goal is to bounce off of the back wall, because you're not going to get enough height if you just bounce off the floor. But if you bounce off the back wall, you can get that extra height. You kind of have to do it on the way up, though.
And there we go. Pikapals has cleared the stage, is over this gap here. SomeGirl is just mildly bouncing slowly up here. I'm wondering if she's thinking that she's gaining height. She sort of is sometimes, but not as much as would be desired. Has got to figure out something here. Wind. New mechanic! Wind!
Luckily, it's not so bad. At least here, so far. Yeah, Pikapals is mostly making it happen here. Man, moving right through this stage.
SomeGirl's very determined to get slightly over this, but that's just not working in her favor. She's absolutely got to figure out some new movement tech. And meanwhile, Pikapals very, very cleanly going through that bottom. Absolutely trounces that stage.
Yeah, finishing the stage.
That is a full stage lead now.
Girl finishing this stage. Looking good. Moving on to... Pikapals at least made it look like an easier stage. We'll see how it goes for SomeGirl.
Now, if you had to be a pogo stick trapped inside of an animal, which animal would you choose?
Give me a second to interpret that question. A pogo stick trapped inside of an animal. So I'm an animal, and I have to constantly jump as that animal?
No, you're the pogo stick here, that they are, and you got to go through the animal that they are.
Oh, got it. The frame is the animal. Armadillo. Or no, you know what? Snail. I could spiral right out.
There you go.
You could pick up some speed.
Much like SomeGirl is starting to, again, look at that. Zoom, right through, back to the bottom. And this should be nearing the top, the end here, and 2 more obstacles to go, I think. Meanwhile, Pikapals is dealing with wind, is being a jerk. It was a very good flop by SomeGirl.
Yeah, and I think making it over just fine. There we go, moving through. Don't want to be... Oh, okay, nice. Not reversing. Pikapals having some trouble with this wind. Basically, when you're flat against the wind, it affects you stronger. And then when you're, when you have less surface area against the wind, it doesn't affect you quite as much.
Yep, it turns out wind works exactly like wind would expect wind to work, but you have to really... It's hard to intuit that directly.
Yeah.
If you line yourself straight up against where the wind is pointing, you absolutely can just cruise right through the breeze. SomeGirl getting the hop she needs, and
making it out of there.
Through.
They're on the same level now. Pikapal's quite a bit ahead, though, but it's spent a lot of time on this level.
If SomeGirl
Yeah.
can figure out how the wind works, which it looks like she might be figuring that out pretty quickly.
I think so, yeah. Yep.
I think that the mouse absolutely has an advantage under windy conditions here because of the quickness in which you can actually adjust yourself.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty responsive either way, but it's true, we're not... Pikapals really isn't that much further ahead. Yeah, here we go.
In fact, SomeGirl cruising right over that obstacle. Is she going to be able to jump down into this situation or into the area? I think this is like right before it. Nope, it's right there. She is just mere pixels behind Pikapals at this point. And cruise over the wind.
Losing speed here. No.
She needs to point herself in a better angle. There you go. Gets the angle.
There we go.
And through. See, that's what I was talking about. Those finer adjustments on the mouse. But Pikapals lands straight into the next stage.
Here we go. For some reason, Pikapal's stage fell apart at the end, and like a little cutscene. I don't really know why that happened.
Depends on the animal that they're in. If it was something, they're so like they think the stage actually does something after you're done. Like with the snake, it sticks out its tongue. With the rhino, it kind of sort of moved its horn up a bit.
Oh, SomeGirl turning the wrong way there.
There we go. Pikapals with the nice movement there.
What a close race.
Oh yeah, this is very unlikely to... Ooh, nice, quick, easy gap there from Pikapals.
Oh!
Ooh.
SomeGirl just barely turning a little too far. See, that's where the accuracy of the keyboard would help, because you can't, like, accidentally turn... Well, you can, I guess, but it's just easier to press a button for the same amount of time than to absolutely precisely move a mouse. But we're still moving through. Keeping the pace. Yeah, so here's sort of the opposite. You want to not catch the wind very hard.
Yep, you can absolutely go flat out against the wind, and this is what you kind of have to do here. SomeGirl pointing straight down, and is she going to be able to catch
I thought that
back?
would maybe work. Turn now, maybe? If you kind of turn as you're falling down, I think it'll kind of blow you off to the side.
Pikapals makes it through.
Like that, yep. There we go. SomeGirl also making it through. Man, this is... Oh no, bouncing back here.
Don't do it, don't do it,
She
don't do
doesn't
it,
go
don't do
back
it, don't
into
do
the
it, no!
Okay, making it out quick,
Okay.
making it out quick.
The longer she stays in here, the more the anxiety flares up. Right, there we go. It looks like Pikapals has made it through.
We have the next mechanic, which is this, like, ice, which you slide forward on, based on your angle.
Do you bounce off of it at all? Or do you just
No.
straight up slide?
You just slide.
Zoom! Zoom! Oh yeah, ice is a constant acceleration in the direction that the ice chooses. There is no sliding backwards down the ice. The ice is basically a speed booster in one direction.
Yeah. Well, I think it has something to do with your angle. For some reason, it feels pretty intuitive when you're playing it, but I don't know if I could exactly, like, describe it. Wow. And SomeGirl caught up to the end of the level again. This is crazy.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a close one. She goes for the bounce. She's got to get a better angle on that wall in order to get the back wall bounce.
And I don't know exactly how many levels there are. Maybe 10, 15.
Both of them now struggling here in this little U-turn. Oh, and that is
SomeGirl's
throw for
out,
for
just
SomeGirl.
barely. That's the
New
lead change
lead.
right there.
Yeah, you kind of want to go flat out on it in order to effectively go through it.
Oh, slowed down a little bit at the end. Can she make it over? Oh my gosh. No.
Oh, the struggle, the struggle, the struggle. Slow. Faster. Faster.
Wow.
Over.
Oh no. Probably would have been a little bit faster to keep taking that top path there. Looks like Pikapals is still at the end of this level. That's unfortunate.
SomeGirl's turn to take a full stage lead. Now we have water.
We do.
Rocket. Boom.
Water is almost simpler than everything else. You just kind of rocket forward in the water.
You just turn into a torpedo and go like you do.
Yeah. Man, Pikapals, you got this.
SomeGirl, I think, trying to find that angle that she had on that other jump.
Yeah, I don't... It's a risk. I don't know if that's always possible. I don't know if you can just always manufacture that angle. If you can, that's huge tech. Oh, it looks like you can. Man.
Oh, yeah.
That's huge tech. That's massive information, actually. Pikapal's finally making it through.
Now, we saw SomeGirl cruise through this level. Is Pikapals going to be able to hit those very precise angles as well? Gets through the boost jump. Oh, but knocks and bounces way back down. Is going to have to take the low path. And oh, that is a lot more time on that low path. Look at that.
Yeah. SomeGirl did have to make it over these gaps, and this is the end of the level. It's not a super long one. Yeah, Maurice did this in 15, but that was a different demo. But I do think that it was similar to this. Maurice killed this. I remember watching that race and being pretty surprised.
I love this little, like, sound that it makes while it's in the water.
Yeah, Pikapals is just now experiencing the water and is handling it pretty well, but a level behind now. A level behind means more this late into the race, I think, even though these levels aren't super long, just because both players are far more comfortable with the movement than they were initially. It's less of a guesswork type thing and more of a actually skilled play.
Yeah, that is absolutely a thing that happens in a lot of later races with more controlled movements, more precise movements, is that you're going to see less issues with some of the obstacles that it presents as they get more and more familiar with how to move through. Like SomeGirl just zooming cleanly through that.
Yeah, the 90-degree bounces coming out of the water. Obviously the game intends you to do it, but by no means is it automatic. There's some ice. Getting that ice angle. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
little too crazy. That's kind of annoying. The game gives you that ice to have a good time and then gives you nothing to do with it.
It just crashed right into the wall.
Yeah.
Dodozer finally gets the angle in order to get into this water here. Clever side bounce from SomeGirl if she managed to pull that adjustment correctly on site, but that is right back down into the...
Yeah, that's an annoying... there we go. Oh, okay.
Nice,
Good
nice,
save.
nice.
That would have been easy to bounce too far backwards there. Wow, yeah. SomeGirl's pretty good with the wind. I'm concerned when Pikapals comes back to the wind because they just didn't quite have the wind down earlier.
I definitely think that the wind is where the mouse is the better control method here.
So this is, we have some interesting kind of floating water. This is something that you'll see only in video games.
Maybe if you don't know how physics work.
I'm sure there is some floating water in like a movie. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but some like Wachowski movie or something.
If water doesn't float, then explain rain.
So true. There's like a Paul Bunyan story where it was raining too hard and Paul Bunyan was fed up with it, so he swam up the rain and then turned off a great faucet in the sky. I just like to share that because the concept of swimming up the rain is very funny to me. I think about it a lot.
Yeah, we teach our Pokemon how to do it.
Oh, with the top bounce. Man, SomeGirl's making this happen. Pikapals is having a really difficult time with these angled slats.
Yeah,
Just getting out of this section. That's quite a few levels back.
SomeGirl is starting to absolutely dominate this. But again, there are going to be obstacles that are going to prove almost insurmountable for either racer.
Yeah, this is a pretty difficult thing right here. SomeGirl sees that that's the end of the level, but it looks like it has the option to go up to the left, which is probably an easier path. I mean, you can see there's at least a flat part, yeah. It's choosing to do that, and I think that that was the right decision.
Needs a very controlled bounce here, and
wow.
through!
That was the ultimate bounce of Ultimate Destiny right there.
And now they are both on the same stage again. I mean, that's how colors work, right?
Yes. No, I think SomeGirl might be, at this point, 3 stages ahead. We're going to have to count far enough ahead that I've lost count, which is not how the beginning of this race was looking.
Yeah, I was very convinced this was going to be a lot of back and forth, but SomeGirl is just destroying it right now.
Running away with it, yeah. I don't think Pikapals... Like you can even see in this section.
We saw SomeGirl in this spot that Snowdozer in just destroy it, and like you were saying, those turns are not free, and Snowdozer is dealing with that now.
Pikapals, not Snowdozer.
Pikapals, why did I start saying Snowdozer? You know what? I remember people around here.
Snowdozer is a fun name to say. I think that's like your go-to. I've heard you say Snowdozer when it's not Snowdozer more than once.
You know, I think so, maybe.
Which
that checked out.
It's totally okay with. It's interesting that you have the go-to, though. Oh. Okay.
Tight turn there.
That was wild. I guess you could maybe fall in that little gap, but you don't have to. And get in the ice. Whoop! That's a little alley-oop there. Little dapple-do-ya. Moving right on through. Wow. Yeah, this is, well, that was maybe a little bit of a hard bounce. Has the wind mostly down.
Just one stage behind now. Pikapals! 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 Oh!
I love it. Is that water? Is that just a bunch of ice?
This is a bunch of ice just chilling down there, it looks like.
Oh.
No, it might
really
be
matter
water.
how much
It's
there
water.
is when it comes to this game, but it is interesting. Makes it a little visually distinct.
Yeah, it's just doing its icy thing. It's just chilling.
Yeah. Moving right through. I mean, this is every room. There is the threat of getting bounced back to the previous room in nearly every circumstance, and it's almost never happening for SomeGirl, and it's happening a lot for Pikapals, but it's happening just enough where it's making a big difference.
I was actually going to say, the stage design actually does a pretty good job of making it so that there's, in some of the early parts of progression in any given room, it's possible for you to bounce back a little bit inside of that section. But each of the sections are fairly well contained in such a way that actually losing major progress is fairly low. So you do have these sort of logical partitions, checkpoints in the stage that you're just, well, it's not zero that you can't go back through a lot of them, it's going to be very, very unlikely. So it's a very well designed to ensure consistent progression.
Yeah, you could imagine a version of this game structured like Doodle Jump or something, where you're just constantly losing progress, and just goes to show, level design, even if you have the mechanics there, level design is definitely going to affect the user experience.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you say that you can consider a world where there are games designed that poorly, and I already know that we're in the world where those games exist. There is no imagine. And we're through! Moving on to the Orange Land.
Yeah, the final level, as indicated in the paste bin. I guess I didn't post the paste bin, but it has very little information. You don't need a lot for this game. Is Pufferfish. Shoutouts to Pufferfish King.
Yeah, I was going to say shout out. We haven't
Hasn't
seen you in a
joined, I
little
don't
while.
think-
Come back, buddy.
Yeah, it's about time. Hasn't joined this year, or I think maybe even last year, but they're still around. They'll be back, I'm sure.
Oh no, this is just narrow enough.
No, and we're going right around. Pikapals making it out of this red level.
Still has the decision: is he going to fight with the right side, or is going to go up the left side? Let's see how this plays out.
Oh, SomeGirl Oh, I thought that was gonna work. I think there was a chance that would work. Yeah, the left side play, I think, was a... Oh, no, the ceiling bounce. The left side play was a good move for SomeGirl. And getting this right side seems like a losing battle. It's not that it's impossible, but, like, it's a lot.
And it's a battle that SomeGirl lost almost equally as long as Pikapals is now.
I'm ready for it.
I hate
Shoutouts
you
to
so
Snowdozer,
much.
by the way. One of the best devs in the community.
I blame you, and I don't even think it's justified in any way, shape, or form, but you know what?
I'll accept it in this instance. This has happened so many times that it must be some sort of influence. Here we go. SomeGirl taking the water. Looks like
nice
you
little
can
shallow
choose
bounce.
not to, but... Okay, Pikapals is going left side now. Not getting it immediately. Ooh, rough bounce for SomeGirl. Coming all the way back to the ice at least, so they get another
Back
shot.
to the ice.
Nice. Into the water. Out of the stage.
Oh, that was it. That was the pufferfish.
That was pufferfish.
That is a dot done from SomeGirl.
The dot done with an official SRL time of 29:22.
Not
Good
bad
time.
at all.
Not bad at all. Bit of a suggestive pufferfish.
It's just
I
swimming
think
along
it's...
doing its business. What do you mean suggested?
Well, I think it's more of an anglerfish. There's no big old thing sticking off of a pufferfish.
It's its tail. It's swimming. It's doing its thing. What big old thing is sticking off of it?
Tail? Oh, I
It's got
guess.
a piece of tail. It's swimming.
I don't think pufferfish have big long tails. What do you think, SomeGirl?
I think they have like small tails, but that's pretty long for a pufferfish tail. I think I'm gonna
That's what I'm
agree.
saying. That's looking more like an anglerfish to me.
No, yeah, I think you're fairly inclined, and that's fairly
God,
tadpole-ish with
dude.
a mouse.
This game's
So,
so
SomeGirl.
stressful. This game's so stressful.
Yeah, so you went with the mouse strats. Pikapal's going with the keyboard strats. I went with the keyboard strats. What made you want to choose mouse?
Honestly, I kind of regretted it after stage 1, but I was like locked into it, so I decided to stick with it.
Yeah,
but it just
I
seemed
was
like
saying the
with
same
what the
thing.
game
I
was
thought...
asking you to do, that having the ability to like very quickly do a large rotation would be really nice. And I didn't want to try to like boost the sensitivity of the keyboard controls, which was also a thing you could do in the options. Is you could there's a slider for like the keyboard sensitivity.
Yeah,
But
you
it
can see
seemed
how
like it would
fast
be easier to
Pikapal's is
do like
swinging it.
precise angles and stuff with a mouse, but I don't know, I kind of regretted that choice.
Now, SomeGirl, if you were a pogo stick stuck in an animal, which animal would you choose to be stuck in?
Okay. Let's see. So my options are snake, rhino, elephant,
Only if you
toucan,
limit
egg,
yourself
turtle,
within the.
penguin, fish, duck, dragon, snowman. I feel like snowman's really out of place here. Um, they kind of had a theme going, then they sort of beefed it at the 11th hour, quite literally.
Yeah, quite literally.
Yeah, I said snail because I thought a spiral level you could get going really fast in this game. So that's what we were saying, that the mouse controls, because the camera moves, it ends up screwing up your angle a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
But at the same time, when it came to wind and stuff, I think it was pretty useful. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I could still go either way on it. For me, I think I would still go keyboard, but
I think it was really bad for particularly what like you had to do in level 1. Like I thought I was so far behind after level 1. I was like,
You
I'm
were.
losing this.
You
All
were?
right, like I lost. All right, let's go.
but then you pulled way ahead. Probably when you when you did those awesome bounces in the water level, those 90-degree bounces, those were huge. That set you ahead quite a lot. And I think by the end, yeah, you were 2-3 levels ahead.
You were able to, about the wind areas in level 3 or 4 was when you started to you adjusted to the wind much quicker, and were able to steal that lead, and then yeah, your water bounces basically cemented victory for you.
Trying to remember what water bounce is like. It's all a blur.
You remember when you were going through the water very fast, and then you were not in water, and then you were in water again, and then you were out of water, and then you were in water again?
Yes.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I do think mouse controls also were quite good for water, because it just kind of follows your mouse cursor. It's really easy to control your like water movement and get pretty precise angles and bounces and stuff.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, because the water's about the most straightforward control in this game. The ice is really weird, if you could even call it ice. But at the same time,
ice
it's like
is wild.
It's like intuitive. It's just like you get it. When I played it, I'm like, yeah, I get what to do on the ice. I don't know. Both of you immediately were like, oh yeah, this is the angle, and then you went flying, and like so did I. So I don't know. Somehow the game dev taps in your brain.
I think it just starts you on the first ice level. You start at like the exact right angle to slide really far.
Yeah, turtle.
I honestly didn't realize these were actually shaped like the animal until you said something when I joined this call. Because I just wasn't paying attention at all. I'm like, oh, that does look like a snake. Oh, that's definitely a rhino.
Yeah, when you beat the stage, it does a little animation too, like the snake stick out its tongue.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was a little preoccupied, unfortunately.
We've got an early finish from So Much Fabs, who's been sniping a lot of races. Vitoral submitted the game, so they don't count. But finish from Persagix.
That was almost so clean from Pikapals. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, this section sucks. The section Pikapals on right here. If you don't skip the like inside part, it's just so awful to do.
On I forget the level list exactly, but I think on level 10, the one before Snowman, it's
Dragon.
like red.
No.
Yeah, Dragon. At the very end, you have the opportunity to go left or right, and you started to go right, and then you're like, well, I guess left seems like the easier option, and then that worked out. Pikapals tried to go right for a lot. To be clear,
I wanted to go left the entire time, but I just couldn't get myself into like the left side position to actually do it.
Oh no! Oh no!
Brutal.
Okay.
Like getting over it moment for Pikapals there.
I know.
Remember how I said this game was designed to not have that happen so readily?
It definitely happened to me a few times. It's not a great feeling, especially in a race context. It's like, oh yeah, that thing that took me like 3 minutes to do, I just like undid it all.
Yeah, I was afraid of what I was saying earlier is like a version of this game like Doodle Jump or something, where you could just lose all your progress immediately. Like, at least it's not like that, but it's still it can undo. Ooh, that's a look at this.
Oh yeah, that felt really good. I remember doing something really similar to that. It's like that section's so well lined up for you to just go flying.
Taking the water.
And it's far enough in the game where you've like finally learned how to actually do that.
Right.
Yeah, how did you feel about your mastery of the controls in this game? Did you feel like it was a nice slope in terms of like
No.
how you learned it, or did you feel like...
I feel like level 1, the stupid jumps at the end of was it level 1?
Yeah.
Where you had to jump over those like giant pillars at the end?
Oh no,
Those
it's
should
level
not have
2.
been in level.
That's level
level
2.
2. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like way hard for level 2. Kind of an absurd difficulty curve, I think.
Yeah, you did it a little bit of a different way than Pikapals or I did it. I bounced kind of on
I
the
assume
back
you're supposed
wall.
to like bounce on these, like jump from one pillar to the next.
You're supposed to use the walls to jet you forward. You're supposed to bounce towards the wall, bounce off the back wall, and over the front.
Yeah, I just sucked at it.
Here we have a finish from Pikapals. GG. Oh, I gotta give him the done. On the stream, an official SRL time of 37:17.
Very well done, either which way. These were good. Both of these players just absolutely nailed it. I feel like I took way longer when I did this.
Yeah, this game was originally made for Game Maker's Toolkit Game Jam, and now I think it's a paid game, so we're playing the demo. There was like, this was in the pool last year, but it was like the free version had been taken down and the demo didn't exist yet. So like it had to get taken out of the pool because it didn't exist anymore, and now all of a sudden we have a demo. So and the demo's basically the same as what the free version was. So I don't know where this game goes, but if you want to play the full version, it is on Steam.
Yeah, it's like $5 or something. I don't know if I liked it enough to want to play the full version, but I just think also these like kind of finicky precision games aren't my personal preference.
It would have to be kind of a Zen thing where you like play a level every day or something. That kind of game. Pikapals, hello.
Hey.
Congratulations on finishing a tough game.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't think I have a future in pogo sticking.
Have you played any other pogo games at MT? You've been around for quite a while.
Honestly, I don't actually think so. Maybe one or two, but
I feel like the problem is pogo games is a very like strictly top 8 genre. They don't put the games anywhere else in the tournament normally.
Yeah, kinda.
That's true. This game, I think this game did previously feature in a top 8, if I remember correct. Maybe a top 8 short. Whatever the old demo was.
That's the thing I know about this game is that it was in a top 8 because I tried to give this game to Drake earlier in the tournament when I was drawing games, and he had played it in top 8, so that was all I knew about this game, is that it was in a top 8 that I didn't watch.
Yeah, Maurice somehow beat this in 15 minutes, although I don't know if it was exactly the same demo. We'll say it's not. And
you don't have to spare feelings, it's fine.
Yeah, he's not here to defend himself right now. But yeah, that was a really, really close race. Pikapals, you had it at the beginning. I think SomeGirl was a little bit faster on the wind stages and was killing it on those water levels, and just sort of pulled ahead a little bit. But it was a pretty close one for a good 20 minutes, like neck and neck close.
Yeah, I don't think I understood how the wind worked until like the end of the second wind stage. That's when I finally figured it out.
Yeah, the wind's so interesting. It's like it did take me a little bit to realize that it's kind of like a sail, right? Where you need to like catch the wind and what your angle is to determine how strong you get blown by it.
Yeah, and it doesn't. There is kind of a lot of intricacies that it doesn't tell you about. Both of you picked up ice immediately, though. Went flying with the ice in a very normal way, like ice behaves.
Yeah,
I don't really understand.
And that's always how I walk on ice. Just slide until you accidentally fly somewhere.
You put your weight on your heel.
You stand still at the right angle on ice. You just go flying. Like that's how reality works.
Just like smooth criminal lean when you step on the ice and you just start flying forward. I would love that.
Yeah.
So amazing. Next Olympics, it's gonna be a Fosbury Flop innovation. But yeah, I think it was a fun one. It was a fun one to race. Have you played a lot of kind of odd control games before, Pikapals? Is this your genre?
Not really. I don't think I play. I don't think I've even played that many of these odd control types of games in MT either. I just kind of somehow miss them.
Well, I think a lot of them can be too odd, and we've definitely had a few come
True.
into testing, and we're like, it's just not. Like, it's just not. We're not feeling it. But this game, I think you can actually get where at the end of 30 minutes you feel like you can control the game significantly better than you could starting.
Yeah,
That's the way I
definitely.
felt.
True.
I mean,
Not
after
necessarily
spending like
well,
5 minutes in those pits at the end of level 2, I was like,
Yep.
I think I got a little better than that by the end.
Not necessarily controlling it well, but definitely better.
Yeah, well, it has the full version, as I said, but I don't know where it goes or how long it is. This was a Game Jam game initially. But congratulations, this is the final Winners 2 match, so you're both still in the tournament
Yeah,
here.
we're right on time. The deadline's not for another, 3 hours.
Exactly. It depends on your time zone. I'll cut you some slack.
Yeah, it's only 9 o'clock. We're fine.
Let's see. So we've got SomeGirl win. Is facing Timo Star, one of the breakout successes of last year. Is going to be a difficult match. But Pikapals came in second in Mystery Tournament last year, so these are some difficult matches. Pikapals, you are going to face somebody. Ness Kamikaze.
I think it's Ness, yeah.
Ooh.
A prolific racer, a racer who's raced more games than most of us. So
I think all of us.
I think all, yeah. All might be the right word there.
Is it that they're one of the highest on SRL, aren't they?
I'm pretty sure that he is the highest.
That's crazy. And a lot of them are long too. You'd think, oh, it's just because he's racing, a bunch of games too jolly or something, but it's nothing like that.
I've raced probably 100 different games with him, and a lot of them have been this took 5 hours.
Yeah, just a casual 1353 races on it, or games on SRL.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you never know what you're going to get.
Ness SRL where you can see the rankings.
Yeah. Ness Kamikaze has a lot of experience, and so it's going to be a tough one. But at this point in the bracket, honestly, every match is pretty tough.
Yeah.
I think we've got a lot of the, no offense to any of these people, we want you to come back, but we've got a lot of the people who, kind of didn't know where Mystery Tournament was going to go, kind of joined new and weren't totally sure how the matches would be. And a lot of those people tend to improve a lot in the coming years too. But once you get into Winners 2, Losers 2, Winners 3, the competition is tough. We are more than halfway through the tournament. Not more than halfway through the bracket, but as far as number of matches goes. But again, thanks for both of you for coming out. It was
thanks for picking up the stream.
It was a lot of fun to watch. Let's see what we have coming up, everybody. We got a match 13 hours and 1 minute from now. Got another one 17 hours and 1 minute from now. And another one 1 day and 22 hours from now. So 2 tomorrow, but they're pretty spread out, and that's it. I will say, if we want to have a less race weekend, that's fine with me, but Losers 2, the deadline is the 19th, which is a week from today, and there's still a lot of matches to be played there, probably more than half of them. So get those scheduled, get those done next week, and keep playing some games. We're still testing, although we're looking good. I'll say right now, only submit a game if you think it's really good. You're like, this is the game for me, this is the game for everyone. Feel free to submit that. If not, keep it for next year, because we're looking good right now. But yeah, anything... Thanks, Roar, for joining me for commentary. Anything you want to
add? Yeah, you should go watch SomeGirl talk or some Game Boy Advance. You should go watch Pikapals do some of their Pokemon randos. You should, or... Wait, did I get that right? Because I feel like it's a toss-up between Pokemon randos or LTTP randos.
It's kind of whatever. I haven't been doing much other than this lately, so...
Okay, I got close. And then go watch
definitely watch
Original.
Pikapal's next mystery race.
And watch the next mystery race. In fact, you should go watch something else right now because we've got nothing left for you.
I guess we'll raid someone.
Go watch Macaw play at high school.
Yeah, we'll raid Macaw 45, who is playing some sort of educational like game where full FMV game where you have to make the right decisions in an American high school. Came out in 2000, and I've seen at least one pair of Jinko jeans. So, if that's your thing,
sounds brilliant.
Bye, everybody.
yes, there's an alien invasion. Goodbye. I have to figure out how to raid, so we might not goodbye.
You type slash raid.
Well, that's what I thought. And then is it just the... Okay, got it. It's just that name. Okay.
Yep. Not there.
Goodbye, all.
SomeGirl.